The two most powerful forces in life are time and words. Once they're gone, you can't get them back. My friends, words hold magic. They can heal the deepest wounds or leave invisible scars. They can build empires or reduce them to ashes. Ever noticed how a single sentence can brighten someone's entire day while another can haunt them for years? Words may be free, but they are priceless. They're simple, yet potent enough to change the trajectory of a life. Now, before we dig deeper, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me. Because today I'm going to give you a phrase so powerful, so transformative, that 99.9% of men won't be able to resist it. Picture this. You're standing in front of a vending machine. You insert your money, press the button, and wait, but nothing comes out. So what do? You push it, you shake it, you might even give it a good smack. That's exactly how most people treat relationships. They keep pressing the same emotional buttons, repeating the same words, expecting different outcomes, but nothing changes. Men are wired in a specific way. If you don't understand what truly motivates them, you'll keep pushing the wrong buttons and wonder why you're not getting through. But today I'm handing you the golden key. You see, a lot of people assume that men are simple, feed them, praise them, and they're content. That couldn't be further from the truth. Men feel deeply. They just don't always express it. Society has conditioned them to appear strong, to never cry, to shoulder their burdens without complaint. Because of that, most men walk through life carrying invisible weights. They won't always tell you what's on their mind. But trust me, they're yearning for someone to truly get them. And here's the twist. Many women think they need to be physically perfect, super successful, or endlessly entertaining to keep a man's attention. That's not the case. What makes a man stay isn't perfection. It's the feeling of being seen, appreciated, and respected. Think about it like this. Have you ever seen a stray dog? They don't trust easily. They've been hurt. You can hold out food, but they might still flinch or run. Why? Because they don't yet know you're safe. But if you're patient, if you show kindness, consistency, and compassion, they'll come to you, they'll trust you, they'll choose you. Men are very much the same. Many carry emotional armor. They don't drop their guard just because you ask them to. They need proof that it's safe, and nothing breaks through that armor faster than the right words spoken with authenticity at the right moment. Before you assume this is some sneaky way to manipulate a man, stop. This isn't about trickery. It's about understanding people, understanding men, and learning to communicate in ways that actually reach their heart. Because while everyone's talking, very few are actually connecting. Once you know how to do that, once you truly speak to a man's soul, everything changes. So if you're ready to learn that one phrase that can melt even the hardest heart, stay right here. You don't want to miss this. And hey, if you haven't already hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep going. Words are either weapons or lifelines. They're free, but how you use them could cost you everything. Words can cut deep or heal wounds. They can spark love or burn it to the ground. One careless sentence can end a relationship. One genuine phrase can make someone feel seen and cherished for a lifetime. Why do some speeches stir tears while others bore us? Why do some couples stay deeply in love for decades while others grow cold despite exchanging "I love you" daily? It's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's not about how much you talk, it's about what you say and how you say it. Imagine walking through a dark forest with only a single match. If you strike it recklessly, you could ignite a fire that consumes everything. But if you use it wisely, it could be the light that saves you. That's the power of words. A careless insult, a dismissive reply, a sarcastic jab. These are sparks that can ignite destruction in trust, love, and connection. But a sincere compliment, a kind reassurance, a phrase that hits the heart, that's the warmth that fosters closeness and safety. So let me ask you, how are you using your words? Are you building bridges or burning them? Are you uplifting the people you love or unknowingly tearing them down? Most people don't realize the impact of their words. They speak casually, carelessly, as if words are just sounds carried by air, but words are energy. They stick, they shape people, they create invisible wounds or build unseen strength for better or for worse. Here's something you might not expect. Men, regardless of how tough they act, are deeply impacted by words. Society might tell them otherwise. Be strong, they hear. Shake it off, don't let it get to you. But the truth, men remember the words that wounded them. Maybe it was a father's cruel criticism. Maybe it was a woman's rejection. Maybe it was just never being acknowledged. For all they do, these things don't just go away. They linger often for years, sometimes forever. But the opposite is also true. A kind word said with sincerity can give a man new strength. It can reignite his spirit. It can remind him he's more than his paycheck, more than his role, more than his performance. Words have started wars. They've sparked revolutions. They've birthed love stories, tragedies, miracles, and movements. So again, I ask, how are you using yours? Because very soon I'm going to give you a phrase that can reach a man's heart like nothing else. But first, you need to understand what men are really longing for. And trust me, it's probably not what you think. Let's talk about the truth, the kind that often goes unspoken. Society loves the image of the unshakable man, emotionless, stoic, always strong, never needing anyone. But behind that image lies a very different reality. Every man, no matter how successful or composed, is starving for something he may not even know he's missing from childhood. Boys are told, don't cry, man up, handle it. So what do? They build walls, they internalize pain, they become masters at hiding their struggles, they carry on quietly like soldiers returning to the battlefield day after day. Imagine a man clad in emotional armor walking through life with burdens on his shoulders. Everyone assumes he's okay because he doesn't say otherwise, but deep inside he's yearning, not for attention, not for admiration, but to feel seen, to hear someone say, I know how hard you try and it matters. Men aren't looking for perfect women, they're looking for peace. They're looking for someone who eases the weight instead of adding to it. And one of the simplest, most powerful ways to do that, your words. Have you ever watched a man chase praise from his boss, from his father, from strangers online? That's not vanity. That's hunger, emotional hunger, because men are rarely told they're good enough. They're expected to be enough without ever hearing it. And that silence it wears on them. It's no mystery why so many men become emotionally distant, why they stop opening up. If you feel unseen long enough, you stop showing up, but you have the power to shift that narrative. Your words can be the permission he needs to lay down his armor, to finally exhale. Just one sentence said with genuine love can crack years of silence. It can make a man feel strong and safe. It can make him feel like he matters, not because of what he does, but because of who he is. But what is that sentence? What can you say that hits different, that stays with him? We're almost there. Just one last thing to understand before I give you the phrase. Let's talk about something that goes even deeper than love being heard. Truly heard is so close to being loved that most people can't tell the difference. Let's be honest, flattery is cheap compliment. So everywhere, men hear them, smile politely and forget them 5 seconds later. But real words, the kind that shake you, that leave fingerprints on the soul, those are rare. Imagine you're stranded in a desert, desperate for water. Your lips are cracked, your throat is dry, your body is screaming for relief. Suddenly someone hands you a cold soda. It's fizzy, maybe it tastes good, but it won't save you. It won't quench your thirst. That's what flattery is. Ice, sure, refreshing maybe, but it doesn't meet the need. What does real recognition, real understanding, the kind that makes a man stop in his tracks and think, she gets me, and that my friends is where everything changes? Because when a man feels understood, not just seen, but truly understood, you've reached him in a place almost no one ever does. Now are you ready for that phrase? Because I'm about to give you something that goes beyond charm, beyond appearance, beyond anything superficial. And once you use it genuinely, thoughtfully, intentionally, you'll see something incredible. He'll lean in, it'll soften. It feels good in the moment, but it doesn't nourish the soul. It doesn't touch the heart. And men, they're parched for something real. Because here's the truth. Most men go through life unnoticed. They wake up, grind through the day, handle responsibilities, power through stress, and do what needs to be done. And when it's all said and done, nobody really acknowledges them. Sure, people might say good job or you're awesome. But those words, they're too broad, too surface level, too forgettable. But when someone looks a man in the eyes and says, I see you, I recognize your effort, I respect what you do, everything shifts, because that's not just a compliment, that's recognition, that's validation, that's a way of saying you are not invisible. Your work, your struggle, your energy, it matters. Men long for respect and appreciation even more than they crave love. That's not just a perspective that's proven, that's experience, that's real. Think about this. A woman could say, I love you every day. But if she consistently criticizes him, belittles him, or dismisses what he contributes, he'll feel empty. But if she says, I respect what you do, I notice how hard you work, I appreciate you, that fills him, that energizes him, that makes him want to move the world for her. Respect isn't just admiration, it's honor. And when a man feels honored, he feels unstoppable. So forget the flattery. Let go of the generic praise. Instead, choose words that resonate deep within. Because when a man hears, I see you, it's like taking a deep breath after holding it in for too long. It's like finding shade in the middle of a scorching desert. Now you may be wondering, when do I say this? How do I express it in a way that truly hits home? Timing is everything. And coming up, you'll learn exactly how and when to say these words, so they truly reach his core and crack open his emotional armor. So stay tuned, stay present, and let's keep going. Respect is one of the deepest forms of love. If love is the fire that warms a relationship, then respect is the oxygen that keeps that fire alive. Without it, no matter how much affection there is, the flame dies out. And let's be real, a man can hear I love you 100 times, but if he doesn't feel respected, those words lose their meaning. Love without respect is like feeding someone without ever inviting them to sit at the table. It leaves them hungry in an entirely different way. Picture a knight in shining armor. He rides into battle fights. The fight protects the kingdom. And at the end of the day, he comes home bruised, exhausted, but victorious. What do you think matters most to him? The applause of the crowd, golden riches? No. What he wants most is for the queen to look into his eyes and say, I see you, I honor your effort, I respect you. Because here's the truth, a man would rather be alone than be with someone who doesn't respect him. And here's the tragedy, most women don't even realize when they're being disrespectful. Men won't always voice it, but they feel it. They feel it when they're brushed off, questioned, or spoken down to. They feel it when they're doing their best, but all they hear is that's not good enough. They feel it when their contributions go unnoticed and their struggles remain unacknowledged. And when a man doesn't feel respected, one of two things happens. He shuts down or he slowly walks away. Either way, the connection begins to fade, but when a man does feel respected, when he feels that his effort is seen, his strength is honored, and his challenges are not ignored, that's when he comes alive. Respect tells a man, I value not just what you give, but also what you carry. You don't have to be flawless to be appreciated. When a man feels that he thrives, he doesn't just feel loved, he feels safe. Safe to be himself, safe to be vulnerable, safe to give you the best of who he is. Respect doesn't just make a man feel good, it unleashes his full potential. Every great man, every leader, every visionary at some point had someone behind them saying, I believe in you, I respect what you're capable of. That's what lights a fire within. So ask yourself, do you respect the man in your life? Not just when he's winning, but when he's struggling. Not just when he's composed, but when he's showing emotion. Because the truth is, men seek respect the way women seek love. And once you grasp that, you'll realize how simple it can be to make a man feel truly valued and deeply bonded to you. If you're wondering how to show that kind of respect in a way that speaks directly to his soul, you're about to find out, because next you'll get the exact words that will make a man feel more respected and understood than ever before. Let's talk about vulnerability. The world has twisted the definition, but in truth, vulnerability is strength. It's not weakness to say, here I am, no shields, no pretenses. It takes real courage to stand unguarded and let someone see the parts of you that are still healing. Imagine you've been wearing heavy armor. It's stiff, uncomfortable, but you've had it on for years. Life taught you. It was necessary, maybe. You were hurt, maybe you were judged, maybe you were ignored, so you protected yourself. Now imagine you meet someone who's also armored up. You stand face to face, both protected. What happens? Nothing. No real connection, just two people hiding behind masks. But the moment one person dares to take off the armor, everything changes. It's like lowering your weapon on a battlefield. It signals trust, safety, surrender. It says, I trust you enough to let you see the real me. Can you trust me enough to do the same? And here's the thing, men need that invitation more than we think. From a young age, they're told to be tough, unshakable, always composed, that showing emotions is weak, that talking about their inner world is shameful, so they look it away, they carry wounds, silently battles no one knows about, insecurities they never name. But here's a secret, when a man sees you being vulnerable, it tells him, you don't have to be perfect around me, you can be real, you can let your guard down. And that's a kind of freedom most men never get. There's one phrase, simple but profound, that can break through even the deepest silence. Say it sincerely and watch what happens. I believe in you and I'm here no matter what. Not I'm here if you win, not I'm here as long as you don't fail. Just I'm here. Always those words, they're life-giving to a man who's been carrying the world. They're oxygen to someone suffocating under expectations. They can be the difference between silence and connection, between distance and trust. When he hears that, really hears it, walls begin to fall, not because he's weak, but because for once he feels safe. So ask yourself, can you be the one to go first? Can you take off your armor? So he knows it's safe to take off his, because when you do, that's where something real begins. Words have immense power, but timing is everything. You can have the perfect sentence, the most beautiful intention, but if you say it at the wrong moment, it might miss the mark, or worse, do damage. Think of planting a seed. You can have the best seed in the world. But if the soil isn't ready, nothing will grow. But when the soil is prepared and the timing is right, that's when something beautiful takes root. It's the same with communication. Ever tried comforting someone while they were angry? It usually doesn't work. Ever tried encouraging someone in the middle of their doubt only to have them dismiss you? It's not that your words are wrong, it's that the timing isn't right. Most people focus on what to say, but the real magic is in when you say it, when you learn to notice his moods, his internal battles, his energy, without him having to spell it out. That's when your words stop feeling like noise and start feeling like sanctuary. When you say the right words at the right moment, that's when walls collapse. That's when hearts open. That's when connection becomes real. So don't just speak, observe, feel, wait for the moment. Then speak with love, with awareness, with timing. And your words will do what they were meant to do. Your words shape the space you share with someone. They aren't just tools, they're the very architecture of your relationship. Ever met someone who walks into a room and speaks only a few sentences, yet everyone listens, everyone feels something? That's not magic. That's the power of intentional, purposeful words. But remember, this isn't about memorizing lines or playing emotional chess. That's manipulation. And people, especially men, see through it quickly. This is about truth. It's about connection. It's about saying what matters from a place of sincerity and heart, because every man, no matter how composed, how strong, how successful, desires three things above all: to be truly seen,